Tonight on the No BS Duo show, to vote or not to vote is not an option. Well, welcome to another show of the No BS Duo show, where we have my brother Will Frazier, and of course you know who I am. I don't need to give you no introduction, do I? I guess I guess I'll say who I am.
Why don't you?
Well, everybody know I'm the sister.
and I'm the brother.
So with that being said, again, welcome to the show. And we are so grateful that you are here with us tonight. We're even more so grateful because we were blessed with our independent artist, Jay Treese, who blessed us with this lovely song for our opening act tonight, hopefully moving forward as well. So thank you, Jay Treese.
Yes,
I guess this time, instead of she makes me smile, he makes me smile. And that's what you like about them independent artists, because when you need them, they right there. They ain't got to worry about, well, let me see if my producer let me put this song out. He just straight was like, yo, I got a song. Boom. I was like, I got it. So that's what we do right here on the No BS Duo show. But to get right down to it, this is the situation. Vote or not to vote. It's not an option. I hope they get that. It's really not an option. You really don't have an option. I mean, can we make it any plainer than that?
Can't make it no plainer than that. I'm just feeling the song right now. I like that song. Jay Treese, I like that song. I love it.
And I figured it would help with the Savage Beast tonight, because this is a really, 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 really intense conversation that we're having. Because people don't really understand. If we don't want history to repeat ourselves again, we need to understand why it's so important that this is the vote of the century, of the year, of our life. Our life really depends on it. Like, when you have someone who's in charge that can make a shout out from his desk office to a secret, whomever they are, to put a call out on a legalized murder, if that's not abuse of power, I don't know what it is. You can sit from the White House and put a secret code out to let the people know that you're saying, all right, y'all, it's time for us to move on what we said we was going to do. So take them out by all means necessary. When that can happen, you ought to be scared. You ought to be fearful. Something's wrong with that picture. And if you think that by you not making this decision to vote, it's gonna not impact that, like, seriously. And thank you, Andrea Jackson. She said it. No, it's not an option. Don't you dare tell me, well, then you know what? I ain't voting at all. No. We need to vote. We need to vote. And tonight, we're going in because my thing is this. I don't care who you are. Agree to not agree. Whatever. I want to hear what you got to say. You're going to have to justify your reasons for being of why that makes sense. I need to understand why does that make sense. Okay, can you get off the song, please? I need you to get off the song.
Who, me?
Yes, I need you to get off the song.
I'm not on the song. I'm just bobbing my head.
You are on the song because I asked you a question and you just sat there, kept. Alrighty.
This is a hot song. I'm sorry. So
by it being a hot song, again, Jay Treese, thank you, my love. Thank you, dear. So
yes.
Savage Beast can't be calmed because he's became sedated because of his seductive sound. He's not able to answer the questions this evening. But
No, go ahead, sis. Go ahead, ask that question.
which also means, Jay Trees, thank you again. The name of the song is called Seduction. But again,
Nice.
the vote. I need you to. I really need us to really dig in on this. I need us to be serious about it because I don't think we're taking it seriously. Because believe it or not coming at you and not throwing no shade. Exactly what you did is exactly what people are doing right now. They're like, I'm turning a deaf ear to it, all because I'm going to say it, Kamala Harris. It's all because of her. So everybody like, you know what? I ain't voting at all. Oh, so we're gonna repeat history again, and we're gonna give this brother another 4 years? Seriously? So since he wasn't able to kill you in the first 4 years, you're gonna give him another 4 years to kill you? Is that what you're gonna do?
I can't understand. I can't understand the mindset of people right now. And I'm being serious. The music, thank you, Jay Tree, Seduction, I love it. I can't really understand why people, feel that because Camilla Harris is the vice presidential pick that all of a sudden now I don't want to vote for Biden. Since he's made the announcement on Tuesday, I've seen memes on Facebook, Twitter, even the glorious one, Donald Trump, said something on Twitter about, comments about her and all that stuff like that. And of course, Fox News got their opinions and they're going to, you know, fan the flames, as they say. My thing is this. When people say, I'm not going to vote because he picked Harris, or I'm not going to vote, or he picked that person, or I'm not going to vote. So basically, what you just said, and I was very in tune to what you said, even though I was bobbing my head. How can you say, I'm not going to the polls, I'm not going to vote because he picked Camilla Harris? Okay. So when you're saying that, well, okay. So the murder of George Floyd, fuck this. You know what? The murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Black Lives Matter, and all this stuff that's been going on in the country right now has been since this guy, this so-called reality star, TV, whatever, real estate developer, whatever he want to call himself, is president. So now you're like, oh, okay, so he picked her, so I'm not going to vote. So give this man and the quiet vice president who don't do shit, Pence, another 4 years. Are you kidding me? Right now, states are deciding, and New Jersey included, is deciding what the hell should we do about our kids going back to school. They don't know if they're going to go to school 3 days. They don't know if they're going to go 2 days. They don't know if they're going to do online. They don't know what the hell they're going to do. All because this, yes, I'm going to say it, ladies and gentlemen, dunderhead, and I don't care if they get mad, all because this dunderhead said, oh, this pandemic is a joke, it's a hoax, is what the Democrats doing, and all that stuff like that. So people have been displaced out of jobs. Kids who want to go back to school can't. People who want to get back to normality or whatever the hell that is can't. You can't even go in a damn restaurant. You can't even, do anything much anymore because of this guy and his mishandling of this situation called a pandemic. So it really pains me, sis. And I really don't care what the reviews or people feel. It really pains me to hear people say that I don't know if I should vote for Biden because he picked Kamala Harris. So you mean to tell me that the job that this dunderhead is doing right now, you cool with that? You cool with him setting his whole world on fire? You cool with the world going up in flames? You cool that your child can't go to school? You cool that you can't even go to work? You cool with all that? Are you really cool? And I'll say it to the so-called black people who vote for stand with Trump or think he's the greatest. You're an idiot. Okay? This man don't give a damn about you. And as for his followers, they're all rejects from the Beverly Hillbillies because they don't know not a damn thing. This man could go anywhere, say whatever he wants. He's been the most rudest person in office. And y'all like, yay! This is how you want yourself to be represented? This is what you really want? You went from a man who's Harvard educated, his wife, class, to a man who said that the Central Park Five should be locked up and executed. Remember that? Who used to, his father back in the 70s used to discriminate, not rent his apartments and his buildings out to people of color. That's black and Puerto Rican. Okay. Also, you're voting for a guy that says it's all right to grab women in their private parts. If I say that to a woman, I'm getting punched the hell out. Okay, especially a black woman. And my line says, "Woman, the fist go in my mouth," and that's just the start. So you need to tell me if you feel good about the person that we have in power right now, running this country, that you're going to sit on your behind and you're not going to vote. He got Kamala. They're going to lock up black people. Well, black people are dying with this guy who's president right now. And nothing against Black Lives Matter. Thank you for the movement. It is long overdue. But Black Lives Matter is more powerful than it ever was under Obama. So thank you, Donald Trump, for your carelessness, your lack of candor, your lack of professionalism, your unsympathetic heart. Thank you for turning this world upside down. So with that being said, November 3rd, I want all you, everyone out here that has some type of brain, to go to that poll and vote. And I don't mean for you know who.
Now, talking about voting. So,
I'm sorry, sis. I just had to go in.
Facebook friends, I love her to death because she keeps straightforward. And her statement was clearly, you're secure when it comes to your IRS checks, but you're not secure with the ballots to vote. She's like, right, you're all the way right. And you know what? And when you think about it, it's like, yeah, basically. But we all know that majority of this now, some of y'all, okay, so let me say it. The disclaimer is this: my truth is not your truth. I'm not pushing nothing on you. You can feel the way you want to feel. We can be adults about this, agree to disagree. Treat it like a smorgasbord. You want to eat it. If you can't, pass it by. And if Kim was here, Kim will tell you, eat the meat, spit out the bone. But this is what it is. Majority of these people that's using the mail to vote is because they don't want to go on the lines. Let's be real. They don't want to go on the lines and they don't want to go out to vote. So they're going to take it easier to do it by mail. Then you got some people who legitimately don't want to go because of this pandemic is still out there. So they don't want to go out there because they're afraid. Okay. Other one is they're not able to get to the polls because of a disability. There are 3 different reasons why. But let me tell you something. This one we need to bond up as a people. And we need to stand together as a people. And we need to make amends and find a way how we can make this work where it can be legally done. Even if that means that we have to have some legal authorized politicians or whoever, because you say post office people are legalized people, then we need to make sure that we can have legalized people that are able to go and pick up ballots, get them to where they need to get to. Don't trust the mail. Don't trust the mail. What is that? Go and vote. And if you know somebody that's disabled, get up and help. Because right now, our lives matter. I don't want to hear, oh, well, I'm just number 3 percent or 3 half of I don't care what half of a percent. It's more of us than it is of them. And when we put all our percents together, we still come up with more of us than it is of them. Do the math. And we need to really stop with this crab mess, because if I was held accountable for everything that I did in my past, where would I be with a second chance or a chance at all? Do we even know the reason why she did what she did? You know, someone tried to call me on something that I did on my past, and they used it to try to use it as a sabotage or a boomerang. But my comment that I'm back was, did they tell you the whole story for why I did what I had to do? Did they tell you what was the reason that caused me to be in that predicament? Not trying to justify it, but the thing is, do you even have any idea of why it went down the way it did? You only know the outcome. You only know what happened or what took place, or better yet, you only know what they told you. Therefore, do we even really know exactly what was what? And if it is at that time, that's what it was. But right now, it's a different time. Look, if Mickey Mouse's name was on the ballot, I'm going for Mickey Mouse. Do you hear me? The only other clown, Mickey Mouse. The only clown I'm not voting for is 2 of them. One of them is Kanye, and the other one is Donald, not the duck. Because even Donald the Duck of Disney can go up there with his non-sounding, don't understand, quack himself, and I'll say, President, just to get from under the administration of what we are currently under.
Whack.
Only because, think about it. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you can make a national call out, secret code to say take them out from your seat, and it be legal.
Now, let me ask you a question. Let me stop you right there. Are you talking about when he's called the Black Lives Movement terrorists? And he told about
No. When he does them little secret messages that he sends out, when he making those little comments that he makes, we know who he be talking to. He don't call no names. He just makes statements. The statement he made, all of a sudden, everybody that was in that certain area in North Carolina was all of a sudden hanging from trees. Cops was people who weren't even cops, civilians, killing people. Y'all remember Ahmaud? That was a call out. The people that was found by the tree in Walmart, that was a call out. People that's down in North Carolina right now getting ran off the road and all of a sudden just running in the trees. Now all of a sudden people running in the trees. That was a call out. People, wake up. Wake up. Did you not learn from when y'all decided y'all wasn't going to vote for Hillary? Okay, fine. You don't want to vote for a president? Let me tell you how you still going to vote. By not voting. So you don't have an option. You not voting, still you vote. Because he gets the count.
Ain't that crazy?
So you're still voting. You don't have an option. So since you really don't have an option, can you make it your option? Don't let them make the option for you. Fine. Do the lesser evil. We don't have an option. We have no options here. It's not like we can go with somebody else.
Well, we tried that, but they lost.
We have no other options. That's it.
Cory Booker out. Joe, what's his name? What's that older guy named? Bernie Sanders out.
Look, let me say this. We're not telling you who to vote for, but we're telling you what you not voting is going to be who you vote for. Can I say it again a little slower?
Say it again so they can understand it.
We are not telling you who to vote for, but we are saying if you do not vote, who you will be voting for.
Yeah.
It's
Sad.
simple. And if my pastor was here, he would say the doors of the church is now open and we could close the doors now because the point is already served. I just want to know these people. I really want to hear what the people got to say. I'm serious. I really want to know what people have to say regarding to why they feel as though they should not vote. I want to
Let
understand why
me
they feel.
let me throw a question out there. Let me ask you a question too. Um, with people not voting, you know, this thing that got him supposedly got him in before, it was called the Electoral College, and it was like a small percentage. How is it? And this is another thing that gets me. How is it that the Electoral College, if you have more Electoral College votes, you could be you don't win the popular vote, which Hillary and let's see, what was that guy's name? Al Gore won. Bush and Trump won by electoral ballots. Why don't they get rid of that system? Because I think, sis, it's kind of lopsided that, you know, those two, Hillary crushed him, Al Gore crushed him in 2000. And it's like, if you have the popular vote, all right, the people, but the electoral college is like 10 or 15 people. You win that, then you win the presidency. How's that happen? How that happen?
Well, first of all, all that came about just like religions came about. You didn't want my group, I don't want your group, so I'm going to create my group. That came with the whole liberal thing, I believe. I need my lawyers up in the house. I need to call Danielle and see where she at and have her come in here and break that thing down. But I guess to answer your question, the reason why they don't get rid of that, I guess it's the same reason why race don't matter. We still have it on our applications of what race are you when it comes to our employment.
Mm.
Look, I'm just keeping it real. Y'all can be mad at me all y'all want, but y'all already know I'm just gonna say what it is, and this is what it is. It is. It's just straight BS, and it's not brother and sister we talking about. And until y'all really want to really talk about it, then I don't want to hear it. I hear all these people talking about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? But then when you have your little things and your little get-togethers, your little gatherings, I don't hear you going publicly and saying we're having a gathering here, we're meeting here, we're doing this. I don't never see it, but I see it at the end of the news that so and so got together and we made a decision and. Well, how did you make a decision and everybody wasn't informed that there was something going on to make a decision? Don't
Yeah,
sit in
that
the
is
dark.
crazy.
Don't sit in the dark. Turn that light on. Don't sit in the dark.
Talking to me?
Yep. Don't sit in the dark. Don't fade to black.
I'm in the street, sis, on location.
No, that was supposed to be the whole point of the matter of
I
saying
know, I know,
that.
I know, I know, I know, I know.
And unfortunately, we got people that are going to do that. Like I said, you're sitting there. So my question is, are you doing it for the sake of using that as a platform to become something? Or are you really doing it for the people? Because if it was me, let me tell you what's going to happen. So if I was having a town hall meeting, right, I would do it the same way I promote the show. I will put it out there and tell everybody to share it. And let's talk about it. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just have a little community of people because I want to know what everybody got to say. I'm like Obama, and I guess that's why I was feeling him when he said it. He said, "Just because I don't agree with you, mean I'm still going to give you the matter of respect of hearing you. I'll at least listen to what you got to say." And that's what I want to do. I just want to hear your thoughts. I just want to know what makes you think the way you think. I just want to have the conversation. But are you able to have the conversation? Are you willing to have the conversation? Or are you afraid to have the conversation? Because if we have the conversation, I'm going to make you see how much it don't make sense of what you're saying. So let's put it out there with all is being said.
Interesting.
We can't trust the mail. We don't like our VP. We don't know why we got the pandemic. We don't know what to heal from the pandemic. But you're going to make us take a vaccine. If we don't take the vaccine, you're going to lock us up. But the
Wait a minute,
vaccine.
rewind that. If we don't, wait a minute, rewind that. If we don't take the vaccine, they're gonna lock us up.
Oh, yeah. You didn't hear all that?
No, I didn't catch that part.
But they're going to give the vaccine to us first. So who they locking up? See, y'all got to remember. See, a lot of people sit there and they think and they talk from the inboxes. But see, we're working with outside people. They figure outside the box to get these people who are in boxes. And until y'all start thinking outside the box, they're going to keep y'all right there in the box, and y'all going to keep acting like the crabs that y'all are and pulling everybody down. Because that should have been no reason why they was pulling that woman down the way they pulled her down. None. Nobody is perfect on this side of the daisies. Nobody. Say it again. Nobody. Let me try it again. Nobody. Let me say it one more time. N-O-B-O-D-Y. Nobody is perfect on this side of the daisies.
Yeah, it's true.
So
True.
every time you trying to go and do something, be something, come up, the first thing they want to do is pull out your card. Well, you know, she was this, she was that, she did this, she did that. Well, you know, she was with this one and she was going to do this and she did that. That's why I never ran for politics.
It's not so bad. They just lie.
They will pull out everything about Shauna except Shauna. They will pull out my bra and panty size.
It's all part of the game that they play. It's all part of the game.
It's a game. And y'all can't afford to play the game of life. And right now, by you making the decision to decide that you're not going to vote, you are going to lose the game of life and give this man more time in the house. You'll give him more time in the house. Do y'all really want to do that? Like, are you really thinking about what are you? I don't think this is I don't think nobody understands what we're saying. You know what, to be honest with you, do they care?
That's a good question. Do they care?
You said something. You said, are you okay with the way you living?
Yes. And that's how I feel. Are they? And like I said, there's people that's looking at this right now and probably like, and they are, and some Trump supporters probably looked at this like, how dare he call him a dunderhead and all that stuff like that. Well, he dropped the ball. And like I said, anybody that supports this guy, and say that he deserves another 4 years, then you undropped your head. If that's the case, let's see. Let's think of some things. Some things. Me and you both from Philadelphia. Let's see. Let's bring some things back in Philadelphia that they got rid of that they should bring back since they want to keep giving this guy 4 years. Let's see. Philadelphia. What did they do in Philadelphia?
But before you said, it looked like somebody just popped in to say what they have to say about it. Hold on. Let's see who this is. It looks like it's Miss Heather. Well, hello, Miss Heather. Oh no, she has her volume on.
She hasn't popped in.
She's in, but she hasn't popped her volume on yet.
Okay.
To pop her volume on. But go ahead. We'll wait for you. Go ahead. Is that her? Did she pop off? Go ahead.
Well, you know what? Remember when we were small, I know our parents talked about this. Remember the cops, how they used to act in Philadelphia? I know you heard stories, how they used to just out of the blue, just harass, black people. You know what I mean? Like they ride around the block and say, when I come back, you better be off the corner. And if you ain't
Right.
off the corner, they
Right.
gonna come back and they're gonna put damage to you. Let's bring all that stuff back. You know what I mean? Let's bring back the era of, there it go, Frank Rizzo. Let's get more politicians like Frank Rizzo. Since it's okay to bring Donald Trump, want to give him 4 years. Let's bring back the era of Frank Rizzo in Philadelphia. How would y'all feel about that, Philadelphia? How would y'all feel about that? I don't hear you.
But it goes beyond that. I need y'all to understand. Oh, this is way beyond just Philadelphia. This is a statewide situation.
But I'm just saying that just as just just as an example. But statewide, worldwide, let's see.
Yes.
Well, let's do this. They always want to use this as a metaphor, but you mentioned something earlier about trees. Let's go back to the era of the Mississippi burning days when traveled down south and we had to sit in the back, or when we went to restaurants, black people had to sit in the back, and we couldn't drink out of the water fountains in the front. We had to go to the side. And when we couldn't use the public bathroom, we had to go to the outhouses that restaurant had. Or when we go into diners and stuff like that, soda shops, you had white people stand behind you because they don't like you here, pour soda or malts on top of your head, push you and drag you and throw you down and spit on you, call you nigger and all that shit like that. Let's just go back to that era. When cops, could, and the KKK worked together. Remember that movie called and I just saw it the other day, A Time to Kill. What they did to Sandra Bullock. They left her out in the woods and all that stuff like that. Let's just go back to that era, that law enforcement era. Since you want Donald Trump back, let's bring all that good old boy stuff back when we, as black people, didn't have a voice. Before the Black Panther era, before Malcolm X, before Martin Luther King, before Medgar Evers, let's just go back to that good old time when we had no rights and we were just 3/5 of a person. Let's just go back to that. Since people want to vote for Donald Trump, let's just turn the clock back. You know what I mean? And just live those glorious, glorious, glorious years that people act like they want to go back and see. Because if you really study,
well, first of all, you got to understand with that one. You got to understand with that one. See, we already there. We already there. That was the whole point of making America great again. That was making America great again. Putting us back in those situations where we were in the homes and we took care of the kids and we cooked the food and we were the handmaids. And those stories were true.
The help. Yeah. Like, white people come, rich people, and they pick, okay, I want you to work for me today. Okay, I want you to be the butler today. Let's just go back to those days. I mean, you're right. They trying to take it there now. They want to go there now. So let's just bring it all out. Let's just go full-fledged, people. Because you don't want to vote. This is what we're heading to. You know what I mean? This is what we're heading to.
And we trying to get y'all to understand that that's exactly where, and the point that we're making when we say to vote is not an option. To not vote is not an option.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
It's not an option. And Ebony, you on the other line, you said it's hard to hear. Were you hard to hear it, babe? Are you coming through? Is it the streaming is hard, or was you trying to get online hard? Please let us know so I can make sure that we are coming through accordingly. Because this is a very, serious situation, and here we go. Who else we got? We got Reese with us. Hey, Reese.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. We got the two Reeses on the platform. So the two Sagittarius want to jump the Scorpio tonight.
No, we not. You a Sagittarius, Reese?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, you. Yes, sir.
Oh, yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Hey, whoa, 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 whoa. When's your birthday? When's your birthday?
November 24th.
November 26th is my date of birth. I went into the party and I did the Smurf. Okay.
I know that's
So
right.
you would think that these two cousins would not have this conversation every time they get together, but I guess it's a Sagittarius thing. So anyway,
Okay.
let's go back because it's all about the fact that it's a November thing. How about that? It's a Topaz affair.
Okay.
But getting back to the hand, the subject, thank you for coming through, and please do share your views based on the fact of voting not being an voting and not to voting not being an option.
Okay. So voting is definitely an option. Voting is definitely something that everyone has to come to agree with. The thing with voting, what scares a lot of people, they don't know who they're voting for and what they're voting for. A lot of things, I know for me personally, when I was 18, I was in college, in high school, my last year of high school. And I was told by my American history teacher, once I turn 18, register to vote. With registering to vote, I am going to get 3 grades of an A. And I can put them wherever I wanted. So with doing that, of course, 18, I'm going to vote because I want to get an A. I don't want to take the midterm. I don't want to take any more tests because my birthday is November. We're graduating in June. So I can put them 3 grades anywhere I want. Nowhere in that time did anybody tell me what I was voting for. What did a Democrat mean? What a Republican meant? What an independent meant? No one ever told me the different levels of vice president, president, House of Representatives, the different states, who's voting, why we're voting, the judges. No one explained that to me. It was just, I'm a Black woman. I need to vote because my future matters. And because I'm Black, that automatically classifies me as being a Democrat. So that's where the first thing of level of education comes from. Why am I voting when I don't know what I'm voting for? Why am I voting when it doesn't appear that my vote matters? Because I don't know these people. I don't know where they came from. I don't know their background. All I see is a bunch of commercials about what they don't want to do, who did this, who did that, why they did this, why. I don't have any information about them. I don't get the information until we get the debate. And then you have this panel of people who's asking questions. None of the questions I asked, none of the questions I wrote a paper, I wrote anything about it. I don't know where these questions come from. The moderator is asking the questions and the person is supposed to reply. And then from that point, I'm supposed to make a decision on who I'm voting for. Oh, she did good. She got back with him. Oh, they answered that question well. They was really articulate. They was deep. So I'm voting for them. Or you have the situation of who's your family? My mom votes Democrat. My mom is fronting for Obama. My mom ran for Biden. So who am I going to vote for? Same people. So that's where we come into play of who are you voting for and why are you voting for it. And it doesn't seem important to people because they're he had no background in politics. All of his situations fell. His TV show fell. All of his really cheap properties fell. He at one point he was a realtor, don't know where how, and he didn't produce his tax information. They tried to get him out of office. They went to court. Nothing came out of that. He's still here. He's still he's able to call names. He's able to say what news, fake news.
So wait a minute. Hold on. Slow down. Back up from your phone a little bit because now all of a sudden your phone want to start acting up because you're giving out good information. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that how it happens? Like seriously, she's going in all of a sudden signal to try to start breaking out so we can't hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
Is that Sagittarius, boy?
It's that fire. It's fire.
Emoji, why don't you make me use the emoji?
Fire. It's all the arrows. My bow and arrow. I'm hitting you.
Go ahead. Keep shooting.
Now we come to where Trump is allowed to do all these things and say all these things. and nobody challenges him. And when you do have a reporter who challenges him, what does he do? He moves on to the next situation. He moves on to the next question, or he leaves.
So
Nobody holds him accountable for anything. He's a big kid that has temper tantrums every single day, and nobody says nothing to him.
So
nobody.
with that being said, Miss Reese, with that being said, don't you and back up? See, this is the thing about where you had said something and you said when you vote Democrat. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
At one time, and I know it's in history books, we blacks used to be Republican back in the day until the Republican Party betrayed, you know the story, Frederick Douglass, they betrayed him. So that's when all of a sudden we went from Republican to Democrat. And let's do the history of the Democrats. The Republicans, they had presidents like Truman and all that stuff like that. And the Democrats had, the Democrats back in the 50s and 60s, they were the party that was really behind the lynching of black people. They were behind a lot of stuff back in the 50s and 60s. Now, over the 70s, they had to get their act together. And I think the identity of us being identified as Democrat, they needed our vote. Thank you. But it's always been a concern to me that because I'm black, I have to vote Democrat. Now let's take the Republicans.
Will,
Republicans,
you do that.
Huh?
Will, you can hear yourself. Are you playing yourself back on your TV, on your phone?
I'm on mute.
All right, because somebody's in and we can hear you. I don't know where we're hearing it at, but anyway. Okay. You're on mute.
I'm sharing it on my page.
Okay, because you was feeding back. You was repeating on your end.
That's weird. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Maybe because I was sharing it on Facebook. Maybe that's why it was doing that.
But it'll never play back when you play it, even though you were sharing it. Not sure why it was feeding back. It was feeding back loud.
That's weird because remember before we did it and I played it back on my, I didn't play it back. We did it on the phone last week. That never happened. So I don't know, sis, but all I had to say is this. What Reese had said, we need to get out and we need to vote. We need to use our minds and we need to make smart choices on who we're going to vote for. Like she said, we don't know these people. We don't know their agenda. We don't know what their plans are they have for African Americans. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, sis, and I bring you into Ms. Reese, I said that everybody was complaining or now complaining or throwing stones at Kamala Harris because Joe Biden picked her. They're throwing stones at her. However, with the current guy who's sitting behind the desk, we have the uprising of Black Lives Matter, the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. We have European men in masks with M16s going to the state's capitals in Pennsylvania, Jersey, Michigan, and all that, demanding that they open up the state. You got people riding around here saying, you know what? I even see it in Philly because I'm home just about every day. I go drive through Boathouse Road and you see the people jogging. No one is doing this. No one ain't doing this. You know what they're doing? They're doing this. Jersey, same thing. People think that all this is a joke. They think this pandemic is a joke. They think that Joe Biden picked the worst person to run with is a joke. However, you're throwing stones at this accomplished woman, but you're not talking about the buffoon that's running the ship now. See, it's all right to throw stones at people. It's all right because that's people's right to throw stones. However, you got to look at what's going on around you right now. You know, people, I told my sisters, I said, people are not paying attention to what's in front of them. They're looking, oh, look what he did. But we're on fire in front of us. You're looking over there, but you about ready to run into a truck. Do you get my point I'm trying to make?
Yeah.
So that's what people need to realize. They need to get out there and they need to use their mind and use it. Wake the fuck up. I'm sorry I said it. They need to wake up because we don't need another 4 years of us about ready to run into a truck. We don't need more 4 years of that.
And let me tell you
what? And so I'm sorry, I mean to jump off. I'm sorry, that people is going to compare Biden to Trump. Biden said something this week about he wants to mandate a 50-state a mandate, something like that, to wear a mask. Do you know how many people talk shit about that? So it's all right to be at 5 going on 6 million cases of COVID. So it's all right to be that way. I don't know. You tell me. Are we in Bizarro world or I don't know. Is this planet Earth? Or are we in Twilight Zone? Is Rod Sterling ready to walk out your house? Shauna. Reese, is Rod Sterling walking out of your house? I think he about ready to walk out the woods right now. Somebody please wake me the fuck up and tell me you were just entering the Twilight Zone. Because this is where the hell we are right now.
Look, we had it reminds me of a good bad relationship or bad good relationship. You had that good relationship and you just didn't do right. But when you had that bad relationship, it was your everything. Or how they said you treat them like a queen, they walk all over you. You treat them like they treat you like a king. It's like it brings all these other logical and theories that comes up. That's the only other reason why or people just don't recognize how important they are. I don't think a lot of us has really tapped in. It's like it brings all these other logical and theories. All right, here we go. We did it again. They're not recognizing the power that bees. You don't understand how powerful you are. You don't. Because if you realize how powerful you are, we will be so much further along because we will come together and unite as one. Period. But we don't want to unite because that means you get the opportunity or, I'm better than you or I'm higher than you. And, then the privilege comes in and all other good stuff. Like I said earlier, if it don't matter, why is it still on applications? If it doesn't matter and we should, why is it that they're helping me to fight, but you that look like me is fighting me? Like, we're not getting it, and you don't understand the poison that's actually happening. And if you recognize the poison is happening, then you will understand the reason for the conversation where we're saying to vote, not to vote, really is not an option. Because if you choose not to vote, you're still voting. How do you feel about that, Ree?
And that's the part I don't get, that by you not voting, how the count still goes towards the current president. I never understood that. That really baffles me. I guess people feel, the old saying, you don't say nothing, then you're not held accountable because you didn't say it. And I guess that's why people feel if they don't vote, they didn't say it, they didn't do it, so you can't be held accountable. You can't blame me because I didn't vote. I didn't put this man in office. You voted, and your vote didn't count, and this man still came into office. So who were you to tell me that I shouldn't vote? It's the same thing with religion. I didn't show you how God has blessed me, but yet and still we have all this other stuff going on, but you still praising God every day. It's the same thing. It's like you're putting your hand in the cookie jar And I didn't get smacked today because you didn't catch me. But now I put my hand in the cookie jar the next day, you caught me. So now I got to be held accountable because you caught me. And that's, I believe that's how people look at voting. I didn't say nothing. I didn't do nothing. So it doesn't bother me. They're looking at it now too, as because Trump is such a bad person and, you know, he hasn't done good, employment did rise before COVID started. So people are happy about that. People are happy that we did get a stimulus check, because in the past we had situations. I think Clinton was the last person who gave us a stimulus check.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, oh,
no,
I'm
Bush was.
home.
Bush.
It wasn't. It was,
I'm
yeah,
home.
the Clinton. Right.
Right. So it's like, I'm home, I'm unemployed, but yet I'm bringing home $600 every week. And versus me being an essential worker, I'm going to work every day, and you're bringing home more than me in a month, and I'm bringing home going to work every day. So why would I not keep this man in office? I'm home. I don't have a problem being home. I'm spending time with my kids, spending time with my boo and your boo, because you at work.
Oh, what? Wait a minute.
So why not keep him in?
No. Wait. That was a chorus moment. Hold on. That was a chorus moment. I got to bring you up to the screen on that. Wait a minute. Hold on.
She said, say it again.
I said, why would I keep this? I would keep this man in office because you're at work. So I'm home. I get the time to spend time with my kids and my boo, and I get to spend time with your boo because you're at work. And I'm collecting this unemployment.
Sure.
I can do what I want when I want. You're the one that's going to work. So you're the one that got to keep the
you hear this?
You're the one that got to
keep the mask
on.
Look,
not me.
Oh my God.
I understand this is a serious conversation. I really don't mean to laugh, and I really don't mean to throw up the emoji, but I'm only saying, keep it real, and y'all see that I'm not the only one on my side of the family. I'm just saying.
She's keeping it real with you.
Keep it real. It's 100, and it's 100 because she's right about it. That's why some people wasn't really getting mad about the intent. Yeah, that word.
The what? The entanglement?
Okay. Yeah, that one.
Oh, Will and Jada.
Yeah. But let's stick to what's at hand. And what's at hand is she's keeping it real. You got the things that's going on and it's beneficial and it's working for me. So maybe, you know what? He's not that bad off after all.
You don't know that Biden is going to keep with the stimulus check. You don't know that Biden is going to keep the Heroes Act in play. You don't know that Biden is going to keep the unemployment amount going. You don't know what Biden's going to do because he hasn't really talked about it. If he did, I hadn't heard him. But people are more of action. People are more of an action. They see what's going on. So November is right around the corner. First of all, they said the pandemic was only supposed to last to the summertime when it gets hot. Well, it's hot outside and it's still here.
Yep.
So we know it's coming back. We know flu season is coming back, and it's going to hit us right around the time it's time to vote. So what is everybody going to do? They're going to stay home because Trump is not doing anything, but he's doing something, and that's what people do. That's what people think. That's how people feel. You know, and then some people have a fear of, you have this woman, she's a woman of color, and take out her background. Women are emotional. Women are confrontational. Women talk all the time. They don't want to listen to nobody. Men don't want to take a step back to women. Women should be home in the kitchen cooking. It should not be out and about at work talking about anything. You know, a lot of people.
Where's your earphones? Where's your earphones at? Where's your earphones? There you go again. Where's your earphones?
Earphones in the car.
But get your earphones, because it's happening again. Every time you start getting good, this happens. See, y'all, that's what I be talking about. Y'all don't be believing me. Y'all be thinking that we just straight having technical issues. No, we don't be having technical issues. I really believe that truth be coming out and we be having signal breaks. And all of a sudden, everything start going down and shimmering and crickling. and we can't be hearing what we need to be hearing. That's what I believe. Call it conspiracy theory all you want, but that's how I feel. What you think, though? Is everybody frozen but me? Well,
I'm here. I'm here.
like she was getting ready to go in.
All
She was
right,
getting ready
so
to go in.
I'm a walk and talk. I'm gonna see if that helps the situation. I'm a walk and talk because I don't know where my
Okay.
earphones are for real. All right, so like I was saying, as far as our Vice P pick, she's a woman, and she's a lot of men don't want to take direction from women. That's period. Two, women have a label on them as being confrontational, as having attitude, just doing too much. Just be honest, you just do too much. White women, they know how to sit down and be quiet. They know how to sit down and be not seen. You see our first lady. Have you seen her?
No.
Have you heard from her? No. Why?
No.
Because her husband told her to sit down. And what was one of her big things that she wanted to do as a first lady? She wanted to stop the bullying on the internet. Well, her husband is the biggest bully. So how are you stopping your husband? How are you hushing your husband? Versus black women, we don't, and other women of color, you don't have time for it. We don't even let it happen from the jump. So
Sure enough, don't.
that's another thing, and that's where people are fearful of our vice president pick, because she's not afraid to speak up. She's not afraid to let you know where she's coming from, where she's going, and where she's been. And she has a husband who's backing her every word. And also, people are fearful because she's a woman. Look what they did to Hillary. She was a woman. She was a really good candidate. She was in the White House once upon a time, so she knows what it's like to be there. She's been in politics for a long time. But what was the issue for her? She was a woman. Just be honest with it. So people feel like if anybody watched Becoming Michelle Obama, she mentioned that people attacked Barack through her because she's a black woman. She didn't smile a lot, so they said she was mean because she had a good back. She had an education, that she was arrogant. She was too fly dressed, and she came from money, so they didn't know how to accept that. She wasn't poor. Barack wasn't poor. They're highly educated black people. And believe it or not, people are afraid of educated black people.
You know
or
what?
Any
You know
person
what?
of color. For real, for real.
Yeah. And you're right.
You know what? You know what? She hit it right on the nose. They are so afraid of black people when they are highly educated. That is so right.
And talk about another educated guest. Look in the corner there. Look in the corner. Did you see what I see?
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Well, it looks like everybody's coming in the house for this one.
I wanted Reese just to point this out. When you said educated, remember the biggest threat, and I'm gonna use this quote, the biggest threat to society is when a black man, a black person uses their mind as a weapon. That is the biggest fear that this world ever has. And I have to give that quote came from the late great Malcolm X, who, if you look at his old interviews, even if you look him up on YouTube, the man, highly educated, came from the streets, used his mind, used everything he had to do, but they still wanted to take him out. And with that being said, when you made the comparison to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama and Donald Trump and his wife, Michelle Obama, like I said, she reminds me of what's Felicia Rasad's character on the Cosby Show. Both their characters. Bill and what's his name? Both highly educated. The kids are smart. That's what reminds me of the Obamas. Donald Trump and his wife. Let's see. Donald Trump's it fits the typical mold of an arrogant, rich, racist white dude, and his wife fits the mold as the Playboy bunny. Now I'm the first lady now. Didn't she used to be a stripper, and she made porno movies and all that stuff like that? But that's what a first lady's supposed to be. I'm telling you, Reese, Shauna, and to our newest person that just came on, hello, how are you? This world today,
he don't know what that is. He don't even know who you are. That's a shame.
I'm trying to see because I'm on the phone. Kim.
Hey.
Miss Wilson, you know what? You be putting on them disguises. How you doing, Queen? How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm listening.
She came ready to rumble.
Oh, I see. But like I said, I'm gonna shut up real quick. But it just amazes me how this world went from educated people to that, and how people are stuck in that, and they want that for another 4 years. And like I said, Rod Sterling about ready to come out these fucking walls for real. I can't understand it. Somebody help me out. Make me understand what the hell's going on, because I can't see it.
So look, this is what we're going to talk about. And now that we got another disclaimer in the house, the disclaimer is this. When you see Kim start losing it tonight, she probably going to go face and head. So you see all this going on, you know she about to blow. We're going to have to let that volcano go. So if any of you have now just tuned in, if you haven't shared it, we're asking you to share it because we really want the conversation to happen. And the conversation that we're trying to happen is to vote is not an option today, right now. It's not an option, but it is an option. But it's not an option because to vote is not to vote, it's to vote for him. Mm-hmm. So right now we have to vote like our lives count on it. Because even if we don't vote, we're still voting. So Reese put her spin on it. Now let's hear what you said, Kim.
So I want to pick up where William left off. His statement was something along the lines of, do we want what we have now with the Trumps, or do we want more like closer to what we had with a civilized, intelligent, functioning, competent president? What we have now is what we had anywhere between 1964 and before that. Where we had the woman was in her place. It was all about the patriarchal white man being in leadership and everybody being in submission. It's taking us backward. When you talk about Mrs. Trump, she is not that she's not intelligent. She just submitted up under that lifestyle or that mold. And she submitted up under that by choice. Finances, stability, what it would do for her image prior to them being in the presidential office. What we're seeing right now is literally a fight for our lives, a fight for our livelihood, a fight to maintain everything that has been accomplished. And I'm going to say since 1965, since the Voters' Rights Act, since that time up until the present, we've been progressing. Everything that we've been seeing for the past, and I'm going to say past 4 years, has literally been a backpedaling of everything that's been put in place to ensure that Black people and other people of color that are riding on our coattail maintain a level of equality, a level of what's just humanly right. And so that's what we're fighting against.
Right.
And since April, we've seen all this ugliness come out because they realized that what they always wanted, what they didn't like as far as the change that happened over the past, 4 decades?
Mm-hmm.
40 years.
Right, okay. So what they didn't like, they're now trying to grab back and say, give us back what made us comfortable. Give us back our leveled playing field. Even though it wasn't leveled, it was very unleveled, but to them, it put them in position of power. And so a lot of their fear, even when he was, and just recently, he's gone up and started talking about Kamala Harris's birthright. So you're doing the same BS you did when we were talking about Obama. So because this is a Black woman of mixed heritage, she's not American, she wasn't born here, and you have no proof of this, of your lie. So he is scrambling because they want him to scramble. And if you think about it on the real for real, it's not him pulling all the strings. He's a part of a system. He just what person, realistically and logically speaking, can hold the office of the president of the United States of America and not have any political background or wisdom or training, whatever it may be? So he's never a politician. He was a businessman who skated his way through school. And he's mildly illiterate. Like when you really start thinking about some things, how did he get put in that position? He was put in that position through a system. So now everybody's like, okay, it's time to fight the system because they realize like this is some bullshit. This is some serious BS that we've been dealt a bad hand. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So yes, like Will, I listened to you talk about, the original, what the Republicans used to be, what the Democrats used to be. We are in a state of war. And even if you listen to Donald Trump, if you go back to some of his interviews and things years past before he became a political person, he sided with a lot of liberal democratic values or agendas. But he shifted because of money. He shifted because he's a salesman. If you're a salesman and you're trying to reach a certain something, you're going to shift and make the necessary changes, and your vocabulary is going to change depending on what you're trying to accomplish. So we really have to be mindful about who are we looking at, his history,
right,
where we are today because of who he is. He's a master manipulator. He don't give a damn about anybody for real. If it doesn't line up with his agenda, and I'm gonna throw this out there real quick. The conservative Christians, be careful. Conservative Christians, be careful. Because like I just said, this man he's a businessman. And he uses people as pawns. So if your agenda is pushing his, yes, he's going to side with, he's going to do whatever he can as long as that money's coming in. As long as it's making him look good. He don't give a damn about scripture. He could care less. Ask him a scripture. Ask him what the books of the Bible are. Ask him about the Trinity. Ask him about that, I don't know, Zechariah. Like, throw some stuff in him. They're falling for the bait, and they continue to do it. And I'm talking to Black Christians. Be careful. Be mindful. Because there's a lot out there. Oh, so he's against abortion. Oh, he's against. Okay, but guess what? Your health care, your finances, your stability, your rights are all being stripped away one by one because you're worrying more about him saying that he's on the side of conservative Christians. Be careful. I'm sick of it. I watched it. I'm sick of it. Because I'm like, what about your people? What about this same man? The Bible says that we're supposed to care for our neighbors. If they are in need, we are supposed to be there for them. So why are we as a nation throwing away people, locking them up in cages, treating them like they're not human? Let's work this thing out without being brutal. Like, it's a lot to that. Snap out of it. And those people saying, I'm not going to vote. I've watched a lot of people on social media. A lot of liberal generation, millennial ones and millennial twos and all of those people, Generation Zs. And it's like, you have to be very mindful. I understand you have certain belief systems and things you believe in, but to say that you're not going to vote at all, there is not one man on this earth that is perfect. There's not a mother that's perfect, a father that's perfect, a cousin, a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a supervisor, a manager, a business owner, a pastor, a priest. That's not perfect. That nobody is perfect. We all have our flaws, but you have to look at the lesser of the evils. You really have to look at that. And if you want for another 4 years, what's happening now is just going to escalate if that man stays where he is. It's going to get worse. You think we up in arms now? We're going to be up in arms even more because people that you talked about earlier, those militias and all those people that are out there and those right wing, KKK, Aryan Nation, all those people that are like all about us, white power, make America great again. It was never great. Never. It was never great.
It was just great for them. It wasn't great for us.
It wasn't even great for all of them. Now you touching on something else. It was never great for all of them. Because there are a large percentage of them who are middle class and low class.
Right. That did not mean
from a servanthood of ancestors.
That's true.
Struggled.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
It was never perfect for all of them. But the fear is that this nation is blending. It's blended and it's mixing even the more. So the fear is really that they're going to become the minority, which is true. It's true. And that's what they're fighting against. Get them out of here. Get them. Why are they so afraid of Latino people?
Ring the damn alarm. Ring the damn alarm. Ring the alarm.
They're the ones who said once you mix with the blacks, you're black now. We never said that. They said that.
That's right.
Because of their fear.
Excuse me. While she's breathing, I'm going to say it again.
I'm sorry.
While she's breathing, I'm going to say it again. While she's breathing, I'm going to say it again. Kim is in the house and Kim came for war. So you see, she got her hat on. I was waiting for the hoodie.
I'm really not a violent person. I'm really not. I'm so not a violent person.
But listen, but the thing about it is, it's real. It's real. We throwing a disclaimer out there. It's not that we trying to put our truths out there. We're not trying to tell you who to vote for. We're not trying to tell you how to vote. We're just trying to tell you to wake up about your vote. Wake up about your vote. Because
I'm sorry. You know what's sad? I'm sorry, Shauna. You know what's sad? I have friends, and I feel like our relationship has been strained because of what's going on. So if you side with this one, I'm not going to deal with you because I already know where you at. If you side with that one, I'm not going to deal with you because I know where you at. This has impacted families. It's more than just a disruption of the nation. It's a disruption in families, relationships, friendships, all because of his uprooting the new or uprooting progression. You will never get the old America. You will never get it. They, in history books, they talk about the Boston Tea Party. That was a major, major uprising, but that was a massacre. Now we rioted, we marched, we protested, but keep pushing buttons. If he comes back, there's another shift that's going to happen that most Black people are not prepared for. We are not prepared for it.
America, y'all hearing this?
To wake up. There is a potential for civil war. There's a potential for so much. This is warfare. We are fighting for our lives, literally, on so many different levels. Population control. He sat down with what's his name? Gates. They sat down in a private meeting. And I know I'm going on something else, but people got to wake up. Population control. How we control this thing. How we control this thing. In order to stop it, you gotta take some of them out. It's real. Wake up. Most of the stuff that's happening has been a work in progress for decades. This is not new. It's a workup. Wake up. You think it's bad now and it's going to get worse. You're not supporting each other, it's going to get worse. Pandemic is going to get worse. Because they're already saying it's another one coming. Research it. Wake up. Know how to protect your families because it's going to get worse. If he's still there, it's going to get worse. Love y'all.
And you know what? Don't go nowhere, Kim. You know what?
I'm here.
You know what? You sound just you are continuing what the hell I said. And you hit something on the nose when you said population control. You know, within the next 20 some years, the Europeans, aka white people, are not going to be the majority. The majority is going to be the people of Black and brown descent. And they hate it when, like you said, the unpurification of white people becoming, everybody's blended, everybody's becoming, basically, if you want my opinion, everybody's coming back to how they was in the Bible. Because if you look in the Bible, we all came from this color right here. We all came from it. And this, like you said, everything that you said has been in place for a long time. And they got somebody in position to push their agenda. I mean, this man has been impeached. He's still here. This man has said this and did that. He's still here. So if anybody don't feel that there's an agenda going, like you said, a civil war that's about ready to happen, if people don't feel that shit ain't coming, it is coming. It is in place, and they got the right guy to do it. So unless they got their bulletproof vests, their combat zone and all that shit, and their bunkers, unless they're ready to go to war, November 3rd, you need to make the right choice. That's all I got to say.
I'm going to say this. That'll put a pause in it. That'll put a pause in it for 4 years. But you have to do all you can in that time.
True.
To fight for legislation.
True.
That certain things can be mitigated.
True.
In our favor to protect us. Because right now, y'all, why are we still voting on Voting Rights Act? This is 2020. Why is that still up for debate?
Didn't they do that in 1965? With Lyndon Johnson?
But it's up for review. That's stuff crazy. I'm talking about. You gotta pay attention to what's going on.
You know what?
Get out of reality TV. Shut that stuff down for a minute. Get into what's happening and why. You know.
And right now, basically, what we're saying is, if you open up your eyes, you'll actually see that there's a necessity for you to vote. If you open up your eyes, it's a necessity to vote. Danielle Patterson, Attorney Danielle Patterson. God, I wish I would have called her earlier.
Wow.
But she said it, and she said it, and she said it, and she said it. You have to vote like your life counts on it, because it really, really does. And let me say this. Let me say this. Please do understand. Black Lives Matter and BLM is two different entities. I'm going to say it one more time. Black Lives Matter and BLM is two separate entities. They are not the same.
Be careful.
They are not the same. Yes, Black people are involved in it. Yes, we are talking about things that matter. But no, we are not on the same agenda of what matters. So please understand, Black Lives Matter and BLM is not the same. They are two different entities. Okay.
So that might strike a chord with some people.
Of course
some people might say, okay, well, let me Google. But here's some background on the Black Lives Matter movement. There's a man who disrupted the financial flow of the European Union. He went after all the major countries that were trying to all come together and become the European Union and function under the euro. He was somewhat of a socialist. I can't remember his name right off bat, but I've read the story. I watched videos. His whole thing was he wanted to dismantle the status quo by any means necessary. So when we see those marches and we see those people who we think are allies when we're marching and protesting, and the anarchists, they're about the original, this man who's the creator of it. They are along that line, that lineage. So when you see people in Portland who took over a whole, that's like taking over Philly, not letting police officers come in, you got to pay to get in. That's some major stuff. That's anarchy. That's the very thing that this particular person, I'm going to Google his name in a second, but this was his agenda throughout the nations because he didn't agree with what they were doing. It had absolutely nothing to do with us, with people of color, Black folk. But when we aligned with that, it pushed it, and then he gave us money, and he put Black folk in place as leadership, but it's pushing another agenda.
Did that sound familiar?
Be careful what you link up to. Research stuff.
You gotta say it. You gotta say it. Because just because they put you in power, don't believe you got it, okay?
Listen, I mean, he's funding it. How they getting paychecks? GoFundMe is not pushing that. Donations alone, $5 here, $10 there, ain't pushing that. All these, think about it. All these corporations that are now, we're going to give $100 million to Black Lives Matter. That's because they trying to keep that organization off their behinds, because they are a part of the capitalist society that we live in. And he is anti-capitalist society. He is trying to rip all of that to shreds, and he's doing a damn good job at it.
Very good job.
Most of the uprisings that you see throughout the nations, he got a hand in it. I'm a Google, hold on.
While she's Googling, Reese, I see your head going back and forth, sister girl. What you got to say to this?
She made valid points, and it is about education, and it's about knowing your history, and it's about not going to get along. And don't be afraid to step up and step out, because a lot of people feel that because I don't agree with you, I'm going to sit back and be quiet because I don't want the confrontation. So I'm gonna just sit here and be quiet. You go ahead out there and shake up everybody. I'm gonna sit here and mind my business. And you can't be afraid. You can't be fearful of the unknown. That's why you need to educate yourself. That's why you need to have conversations. I call these courageous conversations. You need to have the courageous conversations. You need to tap into the organizations that's fearful of you. You need to step up and ask those questions, those hard knock questions. You need to step up and don't be so timid about it. You need to come up front and have your people held accountable for it. And you can't be closed mouth about it at all whatsoever. And just because you have some knowledge, you should share it. Just because I may not be as influent in politics doesn't mean that I don't know. Doesn't mean that I don't have people that I can go to talk to about it.
That's right.
But it's people like this, people on this panel, we need to step up and make sure that we're talking about it. And like Kim said, you're going to lose friends. You are. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. And it's not that your true colors are coming out. It's just that, why are you being so vocal? This doesn't matter to you. It's not affecting you. Sit down. Be quiet. Show me where this is affecting me. Because I am in my 40s. I may not be able to have the same conversation with someone who's 60, 70, or 80 because they've been through it. Mm-hmm. They experienced it firsthand. And I may not be smart enough, or not even so smart enough. I may not want to pay attention to go ask grandmama, go ask auntie, what happened? Why did you feel that way? Why did you do what you did? Okay, so now let me step up and do what I need to do. And if I can't do it in my 40s, I have a son who's in his 20s. So I'm still fighting for grandmama and auntie, and I'm also fighting for my son and my daughter who's coming after me. So this is where I love our the millennials and the I don't know what area everybody fall into. I love how they are not afraid of it. They're not afraid to step up and speak out. They're not afraid.
Yeah, generation wide, they're not afraid.
Yeah, we got our hands smacked so many times to be quiet, be seen, not heard. Don't tap into that. We're not going to talk about that in school, or while we was in school, wasn't paying attention to that particular area of, that's not my expert, so I'm not going to talk about that. Where my son and my daughter, they're not afraid to ask me, and I'm not afraid to tell them I don't know, but I'm going to go and find out for you, and we're going to have this courageous conversation. So now that my son is of age to vote, he's not voting because mommy told him to. He's voting because he knows the importance of it. He knows what his future holds, what his future is going to bring, and he wants to be a part of that. And where my daughter is right behind him, and she's pushing him to say, well, brother, guess what? I can't vote, but I'm going to research all this for you, so I'm going to help you do this. And that's just what it is. It's education, and it's pushing and pulling. And you have to be careful of who you attach yourself to, because everybody don't have your agenda. Everybody don't feel how I feel as being a Black woman, as being a single mom. They don't have my fear and my concerns, and I don't have some of theirs. But if you're my friend, it shouldn't now affect my friendship that, I'm asking these questions or I want to get involved. You can still be my friend and I get involved. But while I'm getting involved, I'm gonna educate my friend. I'm gonna help my friend get to the next point. And as Kim said, us being in Christians, if you're a disciple for the Lord, that's just your agenda. And
That's your agenda.
That's your agenda. And I can say this with confidence. I love where we are right now because each and every person has a unique gift that God has given them. And you're working in your gift. You're working in your talent. And He's stirring up a whole bunch of stuff inside of you to give you that voice, to give you that courage, to give you that strength to speak out and speak up. So right now where we are, this was designed because I believe in God. So all this is designed, and I know that there is an ending power. I know there's an ending result, and I have a hand in it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Reed.
Well, Reed, that was very, very, very good. That was very good. And like you said about the millennials and what they did, to rejuvenate the fire. Not too long ago, me and my sis had a young man on the show, and I'll say his name again, Akai Jackson. And he basically said the same thing that you had said. And he had made a point, we both made a point that the generation before us, my generation before us, they started to fight, but they kind of, things came in the way, like financial stability, moving to the suburbs, and all that Diane Carroll stuff, that came into play. And we kind of forgot about what we was fighting for until the millennials came. And the millennials showed us that, hey, thank you for starting it, but y'all have to continue it. And like I said, I'm glad that at this point things are rising the way they need to be, because things that we thought was taken care of need to be taken care of more properly. And I'm glad things are happening. I'm glad things are being put on notice. But sometimes people who already start the fight sometimes need a swift kick to reignite their fire. And that's where I stand on that. So thank you all that have done it. Let's keep this fight, like Kim said, let's keep this thing going so changes could be made. And that's how I see it.
So I found
and also
his name is George Soros, Soros. So when you get time, on your own time, just look him up.
What was you going to say, Ray?
And to also piggyback off that too, Kim made a really good point about politics and legislation and everything and paying attention. And for those who are not into any of that, watching the news, just look at your health benefits, where the population control came into play. Healthcare, they took out, a lot of industries took away birth control. Why do you think that is? Because they want you to get pregnant and have that baby. But then they also took away abortion rights, and they also took away from healthcare paying for the abortion. So what are you going to do? So now you have this healthcare, you don't have birth control, and you can't pay for the abortion. So what's going to happen? They thought they stuck you with that part. Then they went up on the prices where they talked about the Medicare and the Medicaid. That's where you got hit first. I'm going to hit grandma and grandpa's pocket first because her kids are not going to take care of her. I'm going to hit the nursing home because kids are not going to go to the nursing home and visit them. So I'm going to hit them there. So when they saw they couldn't shake us with birth control, they couldn't shake us with personal choice versus Keystone versus high deductible, they didn't shake us with that. So where else can they come and where can they hit us in our pockets? They came to financial. Money talks. That's where all this comes from. Money talks. And if you have the money, you have the power. It's just like the movie Juice. What was it? The gun?
There you go.
When you had the gun, you now had the juice. And that's where we are today. It's your money. And that's why we need to make sure that we do build up Black businesses and build up your own business. You have that extra streams of income so that you don't have to, when this big wall falls down, You don't have to look at the government to sustain you and your family, because you have your own money to sustain you and your family. And that's where you have to support our Black businesses. And I'm sorry, Black business owners, we have to get better. Just be real with it. We have to get better. We have to do better. And we're getting there. I do have a lot of people that I do work with, housewives, and in my job. We are doing better. But we have to do better so we don't have to call on, JoJo down the street. We can call Billy to come fix my roof. I'm going to call Willie, and I'm going to call Walter to come fix my roof. You can come fix my roof for me. And no, I'm not going to ask for a discount because you my bull. No, I'm going to pay you full price because this is your business. No, I'm not looking for that discount, that family 5-finger hip to hip. I'm going to give you a 6-pack discount. No, I'm going to pay you what I need to pay you. And I'm going to refer you to my other people so you can stay employed and you can feed your family.
And not only that, I want it to be said loud and clear. And yeah, I can say it. And I don't care if y'all want to eat it or not. If you're a business person, give another business person that same matter of respect that you want for your business. If you in it on your business, you need to be in it for somebody else's business too. Stop with the crab effect. Stop trying to be up to get up and use up to be up to do up. And look, we all can be up. It's enough out here for all of us. But we need to stop put the pride and the envy and the jealousy away. Put it away. Stop trying to get higher than everybody else. Look, if this ain't tell you nothing yet, we're still on the same platform. We all leveled up at the same level. All of us. But we need to stop being afraid. Don't be afraid to get hurt in what stands to be right. We have to give something to be, something's going to have to give. And you're going to be hurt because you're going to lose a friend. You're going to lose a family member. You're going to lose a lover. You're going to lose. You might even lose some money. But at the end of the day, you will win. That's what you got to look at. The end. The journey is going to put it up. But the end, I guarantee you, if we stick together, the end can be great. But we got to stick together. We got to do this together.
Can I
process?
Yeah, what I'm hearing is like self-preservation. When we're talking about sticking together, we're talking about supporting Black businesses. We're talking about voting to secure our rights and our actual human rights. But one thing I wanted to touch on was the business aspect. Dr. Claude Anderson, he's a financial business person. He's been around for years, but he studies. He's a economist, and he said that the dollar needs to circulate in the Black community 8 to 12 times, meaning exchanging money to 8 to 12 different Black people before we allow it to leave our community. That's amazing because we don't do that. Now, when you talk about, we're talking about the Jewish community. Let's use them as a prime example. They circulate their money. They'll go to a Jewish business. If you're a company, you need a cleaning company, you're going to go to a Jewish business. You have a Jewish mechanic. You have a HVAC person that comes to your house. They keep it all in the community. That's how they've been able to thrive. No one community can thrive at that level unless they all come together under agreement and understanding of how their community is going to establish longevity and wealth. Unless they do that. Think about the Black community. Think about how many Black stores we have in our neighborhoods. It ain't a lot of them. And another thing that he said was, we Black folk go to Chinese stores, Arab stores, Latino stores, and white stores. We pour in our money. At the end of the day, he said we go bankrupt because they have taken all of our money. And they come back the next day to do it all over again. And what does that leave us with? Gone. Mm-hmm. That's some deep stuff, man. That's some really deep stuff to think about. So when we put together those lists of all those Black-owned companies and rock out, no, it might not be a Target, but they got some stuff that I could buy, I could use. Think about it. Then another thing he said was, how often do Black folk get up, get dressed, take a ride out of the community to go to a mall where the stores are owned by non-people of color, and then we come back home? How many of them, white folk, Jewish folk, Asian folk, Puerto Rican folk, Latino folk, come into the Black community at that same capacity, dumping money? Don't do it. So in order to, there's so many ways that we're being like attacked, underserved. That self-preservation is not there. It's literally every man for himself or herself, my family only. But that mentality is the very mentality that has us, we're like holding ourselves bondage in a sense. Because think about it, we really rallied together. I've been watching Black folk come together dealing with money for the past 3 weeks. And I've seen a lot of exchange. But I've seen a lot of people get frustrated. And I see a lot of people leave. I see a lot of people stay. It's not easy. Black Wall Street, the building of that was not easy. It was a process. They committed to each other. They committed to that city. Because in their minds, we all we got. We all we got. Nobody's going to take care of us better than we're going to take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's when you think about that, it's like, yo, like, we in warfare on so many levels. Like, we fight against each other in business. We fight against each other trying to support each other. And we killing ourselves every day. Killing each other every day. So it's so many different bullets that's flying past us. And we're ducking, but we don't know where the bullets are coming from. And we don't know how to fall back and assess and reassess and re-strategize and really do what we need to do to start making that shit happen.
Kim, you on point with that one. I'm driving right now, but you definitely on point with that one. As for what you said about people coming, driving out of their neighborhoods and all that stuff like that, I will do say over the past few years, there are a lot of Asian and Latino stores in the Black communities. There's more, to me, is more of that happening than Black-owned stores. And I could say it growing up in West Philadelphia. West Philadelphia, when I was growing up in the 70s, early 80s, it was every corner store was dominated Black-owned. It ain't that way now. It's totally changed. It's Asian, Hispanic, and a few other things that's around there. I don't know their nationality, but everybody, like you said, is making money off the Black community, but us, and that needs to freaking change.
But the only thing that can make that change, right?
Indian, Jamaican, everybody's coming in in the Black community, making oodles of money, going home to their nice houses, and like you said, we're fighting once another. If we go to the store and they say it's $5 for milk, we gonna gripe about it, but what they gonna do? They're gonna pay $5 for milk. Well, if they go to a black store and they say same thing, $4.99. What? Are you crazy? You know, we want to fight, we want to curse. That needs to stop. That needs to stop. We need to support more of our own. And
But
I'm definitely behind you on that.
It's going to take all four of us, as an example, it's going to take all four of us to decide, hey, you know what? Let's open a store. Let's bring our money together to open this business as a collective and provide this service for our community. And stick to it. Don't run. Stick to it. And keep pouring in to make sure that it maintains. It should be self-sustaining. Just like that poppy store in the corner, they've been open for years. They ain't going nowhere. They can get shut up and then open back up next week. Because they got an agenda. Their whole thing is this is life or death for us. This is life or death for us. This is life or death for me and my family. We don't think that way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not any means necessary. It's like, no, it's too hard. No, I tried. No, it's not working as fast as we want it to work. So let's close up shop. And most times it's one person going in by themselves to do it, opposed to coming together as a collective. That's where we lose.
You know, and I was having a conversation with, I don't want to say his nationality, but what happened was, I'm not sure how true this is in Philadelphia, if it still stands today, but it wasn't that long ago we had this conversation. For the people coming into Philadelphia, they give them a loan. And the loan helps them build their business. It helps them get housing. And those of us that live in Philadelphia, we don't have access to that loan. And what some families were doing, they would give each head of household $10,000 or $50,000. And that person was charged with starting a business and making the business rise and doubling that money. And once they doubled that money, it was taken to the next family. And that's how that money recycled, as Kim was just speaking of. Same thing with the nulleries. They do the same thing when they pop up. They have the nullery. They get it to a certain level. They pass it on to their cousin. They go build another nullery, another complex. And I don't know if, I don't know the name of this loan, but I really do feel that if that was common knowledge, then why can't we get that loan, start our own business? Why can't we start something like a Family Dollar? How come we can't open up the poppy store? And I don't know what that loan is called. It's not small business. It has nothing to do with small business. I don't know if it's not even a minority loan because we don't know anything about it. I don't know where they go to apply for it. If they go to Harrisburg or they go to City Hall. I don't know how they get this money, but they give them enough money to do what they need to do. So I'm asking the question, do anybody on this panel or listening, do they know where they get that money from?
We can find out.
I'm guessing. I think it's something that I heard about back in the 90s called the immigrant loan. I'm not sure. Because you know what? I'm not ashamed to say it. Back in the early 90s, I was on welfare. Okay, a young man, I had a child and stuff like that. I was on welfare. I didn't have a job at the time. And I remember going to 51st and Parkside, which used to be the welfare office. And I remember waiting and all that stuff like that, filling out their long application and all that good stuff that came with it. And I remember when I was called up to the panel, they said to me, well, sorry about that, ladies. Sorry about that, ladies. My phone had dropped. I remember when they called me up to the panel, well, up to my caseworker, they said, okay, Mr. Frazier, this is what you're eligible for. They said I was eligible for $15 in food stamps, even though I had a 4-year-old child. I didn't have no job. $50 in cash. And that was basically it. I said, okay. But you gotta hustle and you gotta do what you gotta do to become a man. So with that being said, right next to me was another family of non-black descent, and they were Asians, and they were their caseworker was right next to me, and I remember when because the family went back there. I remember when they went back to talk to their caseworker, they told them about you can go to school, here's a loan to start a business, which we all know affectionately as Stop and Go, housing and everything. They rolled out the red carpet, and I'm sitting right next, hearing this. I'm like, what the hell? But when it came for me, all I can get was $50 and $15 for food stamps. And at the time, I had my son at the time, Kenny, was like 5 years old. So tell me how wrong that is. Can anybody answer that one?
That still happens today, and the welfare office is still on 51st and Parkside, and that
Yes.
still happens today. And I had a similar situation when I got laid off from being at a company for 18 years, and I did get my severance, but at the time it wasn't classified as income. So I also went down because I was still getting my benefits, but I was told that if I cut my benefits off, then I would get more in my packet. Okay, fine. So I went to the welfare office, let them know that, and guess what? That was considered income. And because my daughter was under the age of 18, they wanted me to bring her father in to have him fill out information so they can get child support from him, which I was already getting. So my question,
trick.
So it was, why are you so into my business where I just came for healthcare? I didn't come for nothing else. And the only reason I came for healthcare was because I wanted to get more of my my package money. And I didn't want that benefit because you can get it for free. So why would I have to pay for my co-pays and everything when I can get free eye care, medical, prescription, dental for me and my daughter? So why not?
Correct.
So when I went and had that same conversation, sat probably in the same booth you sat in, just had a different person, had a different person in front of me, and said the exact same thing to me. But there was someone behind me who was not of my nationality. They did get the royal treatment.
Ain't that crazy? And you know what? Ain't that crazy? We've been in this country. Excuse me. We were brought to this country, and some of us have been here already. Let's not get it twisted. The Indians, and we were here too. How come that when other races come, they get the royal treatment, but for us who've been here, we get the short end of the stick?
Contracts with their countries. There's their handshakes. So we can't hear you, Shauna.
Where's Garbage?
Oh, but they're handshakes. There are agreements, international agreements between countries. Okay, we have this set up, just like the trade laws and all that kind of stuff. Those things are in place. So when you look at like the grand scheme of everything, it's like none of this is new.
Nope.
It's been going on for centuries. That's how countries work, right? It's just that because we've been here for as long as we've been here, and we haven't reaped nearly half the benefits of other people who come in, it's frustrating because that information is not given to us. Like, just like we're wondering, I just looked up, until you have conversations and you start digging, it's the information is out there, but if we don't have these conversations, it won't provoke you to do the research.
True.
So I just found out that there's an SBA loan for green card holders and non-US citizens. It's out there. And I'm sure there are special stipulations in that blueprint, that fine print, that gives them a certain amount of money to be able to flow. On top of them all getting together and putting their money together. So if they get this loan from over here, they've been saving over here as a community, and they bring all that together. That's how that store popped up. That's how they got the merchandise. Now they're waiting for you to come in and buy. What you want to buy?
Heady up and buy. Heady up and buy.
You know, so we.
You want 4 chicken? You want 4 chicken wing fried rice? 4 chicken wing fried rice? 4 chicken wing fried rice.
And they always have, Lord forgive me. No, they have a system. They have an agenda. They're working. Their children are working. Their children are also going to school because you learn the American way. You learn the American business mind.
Yep.
So that we can all make this work together.
But you know what? Can I say something and probably won't get in trouble because we have something right now in the midst, but because of fear, we are not doing it.
Sis, we already said stuff. We already said stuff tonight to get us in trouble.
I've been limited to what I say and how I say, but
so I'm not so because I'm together. But because I'm connected to you with that connection, I can't say it either. But all I'm going to say is.
So tell me, and I'll say it because I'm not connected to any of y'all.
No, so this is what it is. This is what it is. I just got finished saying, if the 4 of us all came together and put our money together once a month. And then we get paid out the next month, or we each have, it's like a vacation clubs. Just ways to come together and bring that and commit to it.
But it has to be a commitment. It has to be a commitment.
For the goal, for the on, it's like long-term longevity. So the next time the government shut down, the next time your job shut down, you're ready. Dependent on a stimulus check because what's coming in is more than a stimulus check. You know what I mean? And we're afraid because that's not what we've been taught. But when we think about it, that's how all these societies are functioning.
Or it didn't happen. Or it didn't happen fast enough. Don't forget it didn't happen fast enough.
Okay, so, but that's our microwave mentality. These people that we're talking about that come from other countries and they come here, they save up for years so that they can come over here. They all put in, say if it's one person, they want that person to go to university. That person goes to university, gets their education over in the USA. They get a job. People from their family at home pumping money into them. They open up a bank account. When they get paid, they're sending money back home. This loop is happening.
Yeah.
And they open this business because now they understand how it works. Now go send for mom. Go send for dad. Go send for your sisters. And we're going to run this business together. And we now know how we get money to go to the American university so that we can benefit from that. That's how that works.
And not only does it work that way.
Yes, it is. That's why there was so many people in the uproar when Donald said, we're not going to honor college students from other countries who have their visas to be here to go to school. We sending y'all back home. Whoa, wait, no,
That was why.
Because they're here for a reason. That was snatch all that money away.
Remember when I said at the beginning of the show, you stand at your podium and you make a national statement, but it's secret code and only they know what it means and we don't know?
You got to pay attention. You don't know because we don't pay attention.
What I say? Open
like
your eyes.
Look, better yet, go to YouTube, Google. It's not rocket science. Just take the time.
And while you're taking the time, That is our time. That's our time. We could go a little longer, but I don't know if Will can stay on longer than that.
Okay. This was fun, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, wait. I'm laying down. You know what?
It looked like he's in the bed. Did he make it to the bed?
Hey, Kim and Reese. Let me throw something at y'all. I am so multifaceted that while I was doing the show at my sister-in-law's, drove from Hamilton, New Jersey to home, where I'm at right now, and still did the show. Remember, I didn't say nothing for like 30 minutes because I was in the dark. But I'm home now. I did all that. Still been a participant. Drove behind that wheel, ducking New Jersey State Police because they love us down here. And I managed to get home, park the car, go home. My son is in the room playing this game, and I'm laying in bed right now. So if y'all want to go to 10:30, let's go to 10:30. I'm just relaxed right now, but I'm just saying how multifaceted I had to become.
Well,
I'm telling you, Kim.
There you have it.
Kim, I'm telling you, you do sister chat with my sis. So you know you got to multitask. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing to her no more. I'm just gonna do. I don't give a shit if 50 cops behind me. I'm still gonna do the show. You gonna see me getting locked up. I'll be like, I'm still here. Right? I'm here. I'm live. I'm gonna give you my review in a few minutes after I take these cups off. Thank you. But I'm here. Thank you, Shona, for training me.
Don't worry, Will. That's just the director in Shauna. That's just the directress in Shauna. She makes sure that she directs everyone with her hands and her eyes and her eyebrows and the head motion. So you know what she's saying without
you know
saying.
what? But
she
that's
be
okay,
at that
though.
podium too.
But that's okay though. Too. That's okay though. Because listen,
it is. We love her. We love her.
You know what? Because what we said tonight is priceless. Stuff sis said, stuff definitely what you said, Kim, and definitely what Miss Reese said. You know what, Kim? This is actually the second time me and you did a show together. You know that, Kim?
Say that again.
I said, this is actually the second time me and you did a show together. And every time we do a show together, we always like grab the mic, and I love it.
Me. I suggest you don't answer that question, Kim. Because
we grab the mic, Kim. We grab the mic, Kim. You know we do.
Let me learn you right now. Don't do it. Because see, he just like nicely threw me under the bus, but tried to make it seem like he didn't lose no. See, this is what happens when you live for an emoji smack. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, he just needed an emoji smack, and he's just not satisfied unless I smack him with an emoji. You know what I'm saying? I guess he feels like that's love, but let me learn you something. Don't okay? Because be that it may be the director in me or whatever y'all want to say, it all comes out to, it's all about the no. And y'all need to understand, it's about the no. It's all about the no, because we don't know. And we're here because we need to know. So no, I don't want to hear nothing other than what we need to be to tell the no. Okay? You know?
Okay.
All right.
So, being said, let's take it back to 89 when Eazy-E did that video. Eazy Does It when he was like locked up and they had to do a video while he was doing a performance. So something like that, that's how Shona is. Don't give a damn where you at. You know what you need to do. So here I am, ladies.
Well, look, TC and Suge Knight. So I guess I'm easy. I'm Eazy-E now. What? Like, really?
You want to be Eazy-E? You want to be Eazy-E? Okay.
You really want to call me Eazy-E? You really want to be out there?
I won't call you Eazy-E.
No,
because
I think I need my niece. I think I need my niece. Where's my niece? I think I need her to understand that right about now. I believe Bringing Down the House, that character is coming out right now.
Naya's
Queen
not
Latifah?
home. Yes, Naya's not home. She's with her father. So she refers to Auntie Shauna as Queen Latifah in Girls Trip. And she also refers to her as the real Dana. And she also refers to her as Queen Latifah in Living Single. So if you watch those shows, those characteristics.
Oh, no, don't forget the other one. Don't forget the other one. Bring It Down the House with Steve Martin. What was her name? Charlene?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know her name in that movie. But all of that spells Shauna in a unique way.
I watched all those TV shows.
Yes. So when you watch it, and don't forget, Sister Act 2, 1 and 2. So Whoopi Goldberg, that's her too. So put all that in together when you watching those shows.
Okay. So that's Shauna. Okay. So that's Shauna. That's sis. So Reese, who are you?
So who am I? Okay, so I am Maxine off of Living Single. I am also Pam off of Bill Cosby, off the Cosby Show. And I am also I wasn't in Girl Trip. I wasn't in that. But because I'm a Sagittarius, I just have the sassiness of them all. I have that fire, I have that spunk and the spontaneity. And I just have words that I just articulate from, I don't know where it just comes from. It just
that's that Fraser bloodline. That's that Fraser bloodline.
Yeah. So if you knew my grandmom, you definitely knew me. I am Fraser.
That's Ethel all day.
Miss Kim, who are you?
What?
Ontaria Kim Wilson.
Hey, you know what? You are so right. Every picture that I've ever displayed about Kim, that's her. But you know what? I'm going to have to add one more to her. I'm going to have to add
Lauryn Hill. I say Lauryn Hill.
Okay, wait a minute. Before you put that title on you, Lauryn Hill, when she was with the Fugees and when she did a solo album.
No,
not when she went crazy. Not crazy.
No, she ain't go crazy. She did not go crazy. Let me beg to differ. What happened was.
She ain't go crazy. She ain't go crazy.
She didn't go crazy. Tell him, Kim.
Whenever a Black woman shifts from what's expected of her, or she don't submit to a status quo, or she decides to shave her hair, or she decides to elevate herself spiritually, or to transition however she wants to do it, she's always been like, something's wrong. Why can't it be wrong? No, something's right. She got sick and tired of the BS. She got sick and tired of submitting. She got sick and tired of being oppressed, abused. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to be her authentic self. And so people equate that to, there she went to prison. Well, she went to prison because of tax laws. So that didn't make her crazy. She didn't kill nobody. She didn't, she was going through her moment. And unless you are a person, nobody understands what you go through physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, but you. And we all evolve. So I don't going crazy would be, you can't come back from being crazy. There's no bounce back from being gone. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not. Even if you're medicated, there's no real bounce back from a person was really, really, really disconnected chemically. There is no bounce back from that. Emotionally, maybe when you renew yourself and you shift and you start, thinking differently than how you thought before, and carrying yourself being able to say no. And not giving a damn about what nobody think about your no. Or what you choose not to accept anymore.
So
people thought,
basically,
when I shaved my hair off, ooh, What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. I just felt like doing it. Because I stopped talking a certain way and moving a certain way. Like, I'm a believer, but I don't get down with the traditional stuff. And I'm a different type of thinker. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So it's like, ooh, something's going on with her. No, it's self-revelation. It's who I am. I've grown into, like, I went through I had moments when I was like, nobody knew, but I was walking around thinking about how I could take somebody out of here. Nobody knew it. You talking to me today, you would never know what I went through. And I know where I was. I know it was a thin line. It was a real thin line. But my comeback was much stronger than that. So you can't, and that's hurting any artist that's out there. You throw at people, like, most artists are not conventional. They don't think like the average person thinks. If we start pulling up some names and sitting down with some people, being a creative is a whole nother level.
Oh, say it again.
Being a creative is a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother beast. You don't understand. It's a whole nother beast. So there's a reason for me. There's a reason for me. There's a reason for me. But back to the subject at hand.
Yeah,
the subject at hand was vote.
Oh yeah,
or vote. Not to vote.
Rock the vote. Lauryn Hill
is not an option.
Movement. Check it out. Lauryn Hill and the Fugees was a part of that movement. Rock the vote. Check it out in the 90s. And boom, in your face, in your face.
Look, there she go. 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 And wait a minute. Excuse me. I need to come back for 1 minute. I need to come back off of the subject because we can already close this thing down. Did he just call out the sister chat and say you got to multitask when you sister chat? Did he come at the sister chat?
Well, I've been in a car before talking.
Thank you.
You
so
just
what's this all about? You have to multitask. Like, did he?
No, Shauna, you multitask. Hold up.
Exactly.
We all.
That's what I'm trying to say. So wait a minute. What was his point?
Hey, Reese, I'm gonna talk to Reese, okay? Reese, you understood what I meant, right? I wasn't saying it as no harm. I'm saying you got to be on point. It's like if you're doing a scene or whatever, you still got to be within that. You understand what I'm saying? So what I said was, I was driving. I left a family member's house, rode on the highway 295, and got back here safe and sound, ducking all the authorities that are, nicely positioned aside the road. I did all that, got my family back, chill. I'm in bed, and I still did not miss a beat with the show. Now, Reese and Miss Wilson. Let me finish. Reese and Miss Wilson. I'm talking to Reese and Miss Wilson. Now, what I said, Miss Wilson, was I noticed that you did the sister chat. You was on. I seen a couple. You were on the move, and you still was doing interviews. You was doing this and that. I said that's what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by the sister chat. Just like the sister chat, you were on the move.
We're not going to say this.
Today I got on my Scooby Doobies.
That's right. That's right.
He was not inspired. Don't you get that?
Ladies, please don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. I wasn't. I had to prove a point. No. Miss Wilson and Kim. Miss Wilson.
You know what?
And Reese, she tried to do it. No. Listen. Listen to me, ladies. And queens, I need y'all to listen to me. I said
he was not inspired. I'm letting y'all know. He has been muted.
Why you mute my mic? Wait a minute. I said
he was not inspired. I will say again.
I was inspired.
He was
I
being
was inspired to hustle.
He was not inspired. He was being nosy because it was good and he didn't want to miss a beat. And he also knows he didn't want to have to deal with me at the end. So let's cut the BS, brother.
Cut the
Miss
BS.
Wilson, Miss Wilson, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm gonna talk to you later, Kim. And Miss Reese, I'm gonna talk to you. I know we Frasers, we gonna meet at some family reunion, and I'm gonna tell you why. I had to do what I had to do. Now
You right. That's right.
I got
you had to do what you had to do. Don't you talk about no inspiration of power and all that crap.
Inspirational.
Cut the BS, brother. Cut the BS, brother. Oh, y'all funny.
And this is why this show and Sister Chat and other shows on the format is so entertaining and informal. Yes, we inspire each other. And what you said, Kim, earlier about the putting the money together, that's a real good idea. So what's the problem? I have to ask.
I'm going to tell you, like as Sarita would say. What you would say, Reese? How would you say it, Reese, Sarita?
No, not that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about you right now. So,
anyway,
I'm going to try to see if I can.
Well, it's time.
That was a good idea, Kim, that you said, and Reese. That was brilliant, Miss Wilson. Don't you think so, Reese? Brilliant. Black building black. Thank you.
Yes, I do. And they do have some organizations on Facebook where it's like a flower and everybody dumps in like $20 into it. And at a certain time, you pay out. So they do have those things out there already. It's just knowing and doing it and people being held accountable. And there are some ones that don't pay out right away. So people do get fearful. But if you have committed people that want to put their money where their mouth is, then that definitely can work and it will definitely catch on. Just like your smile. It's contagious.
So we're going to say.
Okay, Ron
so what
Isley.
we're going to do right now is we're going to say what we're going to say.
Isley, but you're contagious. I got you, Ron Isley.
We're going to say what we said versus what we didn't say, but what she said. So, yeah, what she said was what we said. We couldn't say that we didn't say, but she said. So if you was able to pick that up, then you heard it. If you didn't, I suggest you play this back later and push rewind to the end and play that back where she talks about, yeah. It's a beautiful thing. A flower is
press down, shake together, and
a flower is a beautiful thing.
What?
A flower is a beautiful thing. That's all I'm going to say. It's a flower.
Make it rain in the community.
A flower is a beautiful thing, especially when you have a lotus flower. Lotus flower is a beautiful thing. Yeah, Lotus by Design. I'm just going to tell you, that's going to be the next segment that we're going to have. Lotus by Design. We don't look like
leaves.
We don't look like what we've been through because we are a Lotus by Design.
Those are my flower petals.
So I'm going to try to peekaboo this thing again because I don't know if y'all noticed. I was multitasking the whole show because I kept having technical difficulties. So,
you always do. Can't hear you.
I can hear y'all.
Yeah. There she is.
We can't hear her. Reese, can you say something, Reese?
I can hear y'all, but she's
okay.
Best believe no, I'm going to get you for that. I'm going to get you for that. Trust me. I'm going to get you for that.
Who you going to get?
Who are you referring to? Me?
I'm going to get all you for it because y'all thought I couldn't see y'all. Right now, I'm about to be the witch from the Wiz. I told y'all don't give me no bad news. Y'all thought I couldn't see what was going on. I saw it.
But we see two of you.
Of course,
yeah, we do.
I told you I was experiencing technical difficulty.
You work miracles.
Okay.
Which way did she go?
She right there. She hear us.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
She hear us.
Yes, I hear you. Trust me when I tell you, I
Come
hear
on,
you.
let's do it. Come on.
Oh, because you know what, ladies? Because if she didn't answer, I was gonna sing.
There's the music.
So again,
Yo, she looks so funny talking all fast. Hey, Kim, when are you you doing another project soon, right? Are you
Oh, I'm doing
doing
a lot
another
of them.
project?
I have a cartoon that I'm working on. I have a TV series that I'm working on.
Okay.
A film, a lot of stuff. School is just about to start back up for me in 2 weeks.
What school are you going to? You going online, of course.
All online, Temple.
Good school, good school.
Yep.
And you, Miss Reed? What you got going on?
So I am just a full-time mother, full-time employee, and I just do what I do every day.
Me, besides being a co-host of the BSDUO show, I have my own cleaning business, and I do promotions. Which, in a way, this COVID-19 has kind of like made a lot of people, myself included, kind of in other words, you have to dig deep in to bring out sometimes a negative. I'm gonna say this. Old people used to say to me that in the poison was always the antidote. If you understand what I mean by that, always when there's something bad, there's always something good come out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff I've been learning, reintroducing myself on the net about promotions and all that stuff like that. And it basically got me back to reading again. You know what I mean? So, this COVID-19, it just, like I said, it just brought more of me bringing my mind out. You understand what I'm saying? Getting my head together. Because before all this happened, I tell you right now, my mind was all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? So, and getting back to my cleaning business, I'll correct that. My cleaning business co-owner of with my wife, and me and her do it every day. Just like me and sis do the No BS Duo show. I'm just right now just trying to get the thing with the promotion part together. Because like I said, I was used to doing promotions one way, like going to like putting on events and doing stuff like that, fundraisers. Now, since everything is like reverted to at a standstill, you have to invent new ideas to keep your craft going. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing right now. And I think and even though me and her fight a lot, you know what I mean? But, my sister and I thank God that me and my sister have started on this journey, because it not only just helped myself, it helped her too. And other people involved in the project, yourself, Miss Kim, and others that came on the show. It also gave another platform and another vessel, I'll use that word, for things to happen. So I'm just saying that I'm always grateful to the Lord, and hey, we're here, so let's do what we have to do. Let's get through this.
Come on, let's do it. Come on and do it. Come on and do. Everybody.
Is that the remix? Is that the remix from Bohannon? Did you remix Bohannon?
You don't know.
The only reason why I can say this has helped me is because it's helped me to serve my purpose. Because I want everybody to understand I don't get nothing from this. This is not about me. This is about Shauna being Shauna. And being a vessel there so that everybody can get to where they need to get there. So, yeah, but you know what? Let me retract that. It has helped me because it's helped me to meet some other people like me. It's helped me to even see me through other people. Whereas it helped me to also take accountability, ownership. Shut up, Sarita. And it also helped me to adjust my crown. Because I'm not going to tell you that I'm walking around here with my crown straight up all the time. No, can't say that. But it also showed me and helped me to really appreciate my blessings. That's it. It helped me to see my blessings because, you know, life is not easy. But
never has been.
Life is worth it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The good and the bad. Because either way, you come out of it, as Joe said last week, you're victorious. Because either you're going to be blessed by it or you're going to learn from it. So, yes, I can say this has helped me because it has helped groom me and, fine tune me. And everybody needs some tuning every now and then. Everybody needs some tuning. And I can be grateful to say that some things I would not have known, I would not have been able to be a part of had we not had this platform. So yes, I am grateful for this platform. But I'm mainly grateful that I'm able to be a vessel and a blessing for others that come through this show as a result of it. So with that being said, I don't know if we're going to be able to hear it because as again, yes, not only sister chat, but everything that goes on is a multitasking experience for the engineer / host. And I don't know what's going on, but tonight it's been challenging. But it just goes to show you that when something is good going on, you're always going to have some type of obstacle that's going to try to stop and block it. So that just gave me confirmation of knowing that what was going on this platform, whether I was here or not, y'all was landing it. And prayerfully, somebody heard it and everybody understand the necessity to vote. Because like Sarita said earlier, I'm sorry, Reese, even though it don't make sense that it doesn't make sense that even though you don't vote, you vote for him, you do. So with that, you knowing that, please understand that. And with understanding that, understand that not voting is not an option. You have to vote. And if you've been granted the privilege to vote, vote. There's ways out there that we can make it work. But please, I'm sorry. Again, I'm throwing my disclaimer out here, not my truth, your truth. I don't trust the mail. So do what you got to do to get your vote in. I'm just telling you how I feel. I'm going to stand in the line. And I'm going to make sure whoever needs to get to the polls is going to get to the polls.
Standing in the line at Overbrook High School. That's where we got to go to. I'll be there.
Alma mater.
You went to Brook?
Yes.
You went to Brook?
That's a Brook baby. That's a Brook baby.
Reese, what school you went to?
I went to BOK, Bach. So you get it? Bach.
South Philly, right?
South Philly in the house.
Well, since y'all all calling them out West Catholic, hey ladies. And my brothers, because you know we did unite. We were the last to separate, but we was the first to unite as a separated group for our reunions. You make history all the time, baby. That class of
William
89
Penn High.
did something.
William Penn High, North Philly.
So I don't know if you guys can hear our song, you know, because we have our song. I don't know if you can hear it. You might can't. I don't know. I'll try it. If not, y'all all know it by heart, right? Can y'all hear it?
Yeah.
Can you hear it?
Thank you, everybody. Like you said, we got to get the hell up out of here.
And vote.
And vote.
No matter what.
Stay awake.
Rock that vote.
November 3rd.
Rock that vote. Rock that vote.
Hey, Kim, I'm voting for you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Miriam.
I'm voting for you, Reese. I'm voting for Will. Peace, everybody.